how's it going, guys? Two-man here, and I need to clean my visor. My visor's so dirty. From our Ride to Remember Day. I miss it. It's kind of cold now. It was nice and warm a couple of days ago, but knowing Melbourne, it's Melbourne. And I started doing feminine stuff lately. I mean slowly, because I've been reading lots of random shit online on the internet, and one of them says use what's it called? Sunscreen. Yes, use sunscreen. You'll thank me later. That's what the writer said. So far, I am thanking him, her, or whatever it is. I've never thought about it before, because I've always been like, the usual man thing to do. But since the UV ray or the ozone layer is gonna slowly getting stronger, why not, right? So I started doing that. It feels weird, of course. I've never actually put anything on my face aside from sunscreen when I'm at the beach, but never for daily use. And even a friend of mine said I approve, because even on the shady or overcast day, it doesn't stop the UV rays or whatever it is from penetrating the ozone layer. See, I told you, like where I was, it was nice and sunny, but now it's like surprise, surprise. But at least it's cleaning my visor though. Oh, what was that? But hopefully it doesn't rain, like fully rain, till I get to the place I am destined to be. Melbourne. I was gonna say something, but I could not recall. Oh yeah, I was gonna tell a story about once upon a time how I got this bike and I wasn't scared. Anyway, how it goes, like when I first time I rode this bike, it kind of scared me a bit, but it didn't scare me as much as the first time I started riding my 250 Honda CBR Mugen. That bike scared the bejesus out of me. It scared the shit out of me because I had no experience in riding, and the first time I sat on it, the boots that I had, I could not feel the clutch or whatever it is, and I didn't. When I first rode it, I didn't realize there's a half click or up click or to neutral or whatever it is. I always assumed everything went up, to change your gears and stuff. It was all up, so I did not know how to put it on neutral. I just hammer it or whatever. Yeah, it got me scared because I did not know the concept of counter steering either. And I suppose I wasn't aware of the term target fixation. So that's how I crashed, and I've learned my lesson since then. And since then, I kind of learned, I understood the concept of counter steering. And at first I was, I'm sure everyone's first lane was scary. I've never attempted like a full lean yet. I've only attempted half. Well, I mean, like, the first time I started leaning, it was scary, of course, because I just imagined that I'd lose traction and slip off. But I've never, the science behind it, I'm sure you won't slip off and blah blah blah. But for a first timer, cornering was a dick, I have to admit. And what else that scared me? I only started realizing the gear change after my friend mentioned about it. He was like, "Oh, so how do you gear change? Do you go down and half click up to go neutral?" I'm like, "What?" And I just said like, yeah, definitely, yeah, that's how you do it. And then since then I kind of realized how to gear change. So that was kind of interesting from me anyway, thinking that I knew everything about a motorbike, but I was wrong. And after a while I kind of gotten used to it, gotten confident in filtering. And it was weird filtering at first, because I was like, oh my god, my heart was racing. Every time I stopped at a traffic light, my heart was racing. And I nearly fell off my bike as well, like off the start, because I was oh my god, off the start, because I didn't realize when you try to floor it, the weight ratio or weight change, of course, goes to the back, right? So I nearly let go of the handlebars and freaked myself out a little. But now, like, when I kind of floor it, I kind of lean forward. It's a learning curve with the motorbike. I find cornering's easier on my 250, and this one has a slight difference because it's heavier. If you go too slow, it's you treat it like a bicycle. If you go too fast, you treat it like a motorbike. And yeah, that's the weird thing about upgrading, I think. But yeah, I think that's my story. How this bike didn't scare me. Well, that's because I haven't. I'm used to the. I don't know. I'm used to it. After I think a week or whatnot. After a week, it becomes kind of natural for me. It feels right. But I do miss the old 250cc. And when I rode the 300 CBR 300, it felt like that bike feels weird as well, because it didn't feel like the 250 cc's. No, it didn't feel like my bike, because my bike, it felt like me, because it had battle scars, a dinted tank, this and that. It felt right for me. At first I didn't really like this color, but once I saw it, I was like, oh. I didn't really, I've been looking for a while actually. I keep getting confused which bike I want to get. If I wanted to get the super sports bike upgrade or a naked bike. So, and then I rode my friend's XJ6, and it felt weird. It didn't feel right, but I just looked at it and I'm like, yeah, it feels comfortable. So I ended up just looking around for a XJ6, and even then I was like still iffy, like with the XJ6. And then my friend at work, he just said, why don't you look into the FZ6N? It's the same thing. So I looked around, and then I saw a couple, and most of them are like, oh yeah, not bad. And then I saw this baby. It came with Two Brothers exhaust performance. So I'm like, oh my god. So I looked at it, thought about it, and then I just said, you know what? Despite the color, I'll repaint it. You know, I told myself that I'll repaint it, and but then I kind of grew with it. You know, like it's a alluring color. People look at it because it's yellow, and people like to call it the bumblebee. I love it. The sound, I don't know. It feels unique for some reason. And it feels like me as well. It doesn't feel like a bumblebee. It just feels like me. You know, you know, as they say, you gotta. Once your bike is on, you know, parked somewhere, and you look at your bike and you just admire it, and you're like, "Yep, that baby's mine." That means you picked the right motorbike.